All right, guys, Pam Saxman here. Thanks for joining me for week 2, day 5 of New Agent Jumpstart. Whew, it's another topic that I love today, and it is around a business plan. So make no mistake about it, new agent, you are developing an entire business. So it's important to have some planning and thought that goes into what that business is really going to look like. But I also want to show you maybe some tools on how you do it to not make it overly complicated and understand that you could use something simple like a Google document to help you kind of see what your business looks like. So let me share my desktop. We are a little bit more sophisticated now at the call team. We use some programs that are called like Sisu. But back in the day, let me make sure I'm in the right place. It's going to take me a second. Sorry, I think I'm in the wrong. Here we go. Back in the day, we just had a basic, um, Excel spreadsheet. So we kind of ended this in 2019 and again moved into Sisu. But I wanted to give you some of the tabs so you could see how simple it is to really do a business plan. Our first tab, and it's always been something that I've marched with, is what's called a SWOT analysis. So you'll see you have strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Your opportunities and your threats are external, based on like the market or things that you don't necessarily have control. And your strengths and weaknesses are internal. So for us, we had to evaluate the strengths and weaknesses from a team perspective, but certainly as individuals, you could dig this in deeper as well. So what are my individual strengths and weaknesses, and what opportunities do I have that I can see that maybe I need to try to explore and expose? And what are the threats? What are the things that I worry about that would affect my business I might not necessarily have control over, but I certainly need to maybe plan for that in this kind of risk evaluation. The reason why you want to do this is, again, is to make you think about, you want to leverage your strengths and any type of weaknesses or threats. You want to mitigate those as much as possible. So the theory is, if you sit and you really think about it, then you have more knowledge about what your business looks like. Damn straight, I'm going to use every strength that I have, but I'm also going to try to downplay any sort of weaknesses I have, or I'm going to build my skill set up in that weakness too, so that maybe it can become an asset for me. Anyway, don't overthink it, but it's kind of a fun exercise to do. We had a marketing plan, so I'll go over this kind of real quick. But how much we were going to spend per month and per year on some of our advertising. And then some money that we received because of business relationships that we had as well. It was almost like a debit credit, some business opportunities. So where were we maybe going to go into and explore some additional opportunities that we did not have before? All right, guys. And then we tracked all of our raw sales. So how many deals did we have every month? I mean, we would track it by list price, sold price, days on market, if it was a listing or a buy side, who the agent on the deal was, where that source came from, and what was the gross commission income that came through that. Again, super simple Excel document, but even manually, I could evaluate what that return on investment was for the amount of money that we were spending on certain sources. And I think you'll see a little bit more of that in just a minute. You can tell we moved over to a different platform, right, middle of the year. But just wanted you guys to see. So total 2017, 18, 19. So I wanted to see progression and growth, whether it was number of transactions or it was total volume. And I could break it down by list side, by buy side, all of that. All of this was to help me evaluate trends. Now, I'm a little bit of a nerd. I'm driven by data to help me make decisions. But it's always helpful for me, I think, to look at the things that I'm tracking. So that was in the past. This was a way to look at what my goals were. So we had a goal of selling, I think, 300 homes last year. We sold 278, a little bit shy of it. But I could break out my goals, my actual numbers and my goals to make sure monthly, I was on average tracking, and I could look and see where I was at the end of the quarter to my goal. So quarter one last year, we were 116% to goal. So we were tracking to over exceed on transactions and volume. This stuff makes a difference, guys. Like if you know what my goals are, how much do I need in incremental bites, and then I'm tracking it, then I know if I'm being successful towards my goals. I mean, you guys, I get really nerdy. I went down to list side by side too. All right, so this is some evaluation of how much money we're spending in certain ways. So source summary and goals, how much money we spent, did it pay off, and what percent of the business is. So we always try to stay in 3 buckets. Leads you pay for, leads you go out and hunt, and hopefully after a period of time, you have enough sphere that you're getting great referrals. And if you can do 33, 33, 33, you're doing pretty damn good. So we were pretty close. Always a little heavier on paid leads than I would personally like. I would like to track in a way that's, that we're getting more prospecting, we're getting more sphere referrals, because these are cheaper or free, and this one we have to pay for. So you can see that was 2018, and in 2019 quarter one, yikes, I felt like I was going in the wrong direction on that part. Agent goals. So we run a team, and I'll go back to something else because I don't want to necessarily expose. I want to make sure they're setting their goals and they're tracking towards our goals. Everything kind of funnels up. So what's the story of this? Do your SWOT analysis, look at what you're going to spend, and make sure you're tracking that you're getting a return on that spend. If you're going to have a marketing budget, that's amazing. But make sure you put it out for the year and know what your budget is, and so you don't blow your budget quarter one and then you have nothing else to support the rest of the year too. This is your business. Treat it like one. So spend some time understanding what that's going to take, what your expenses are, and track it. Do something simple, right? Don't overthink it. Just use one of these Excel documents and it will get you on the right track. I hope that helps. This one's a little bit dry, but it's so worth it. So good luck, everybody. If you have any questions on a business plan, let me know. I'd love to help. Have a great day.